Hi, it's Craig the Spa Tech, and now that we've got the saltwater system set up, this video is talking about operation. So let's get started. Okay, so now we are online. It's going to say saltwater system okay, saltwater system okay. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a quarter cup, third of a cup splash of liquid swimming pool chlorine shock. What this is going to do is this is going to sanitize your hot tub. One thing that I have to tell you about these saltwater systems is these saltwater systems are excellent at taking a sanitized spa and maintaining it. What they are not good at doing is taking a spa that's gotten a little bit contaminated, a little bit funky, a little bit nasty, and bringing it back. So adding a splash of liquid swimming pool chlorine, which is very compatible to these saltwater systems, is what you do to establish a chlorine residual and to knock out whatever biocontaminants are in there so that this system can take over. Now, you're going to notice on this control panel, it says output level right over here. And on this style control panel, your output level is here. This is what you are going to be doing for your chlorine. I have to emphasize that I've had a lot of people who are confused that these graphs, whether it's the bar graph or the clock graph, I have a lot of people who are confused thinking that this is indicating chlorine. It is not. These bar and clock graphs are indicating your salt. Your chlorine generating is indicated by your output level. Here it says output level 2. Here it says output level, it's kind of hard to read. I think it's like 3. This is what's going to be generating your chlorine on the day in and the day out. And the way I explain these output levels is these numbers are almost like the numbers on the burner knob of your stove, where 1 is extremely low, 5 is midpoint, and 10 is full bore high. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take these output levels and we're going to start out at a good mid-level, like let's say output 5. So on this control panel, you would hit this button here and it would say you'd bump it up to 3, 4, and 5. On this panel, you would be hitting the touch screen right in the middle to say like output 4, 5, and get it at output level 5. Now what this is going to do is this is going to generate chlorine low level on the day in and the day out to keep the spa sanitized. In addition to that, this is very important, there is a boost feature here. On the control panel here, there would be a button right here. And on this control panel, it looks like a rocket ship, a water droplet that looks like a rocket ship, and it says off. You would hit the touch screen right there, and that would say on. What this does is this puts the spa into a 24-hour chlorine marathon generating session whenever you use the spa. There is a saying that we use. It's called boost after use. So your output level of 5 in this instance is generating low-level chlorine, very pale purple on the test strip. And whenever you use the spa, you want to generate a little extra chlorine because you put a bunch of contaminants in the spa simply by getting in. So if you use the spa and you do not hit this boost, you're going to take this very low-level chlorine that you've got and you're going to bottom it out to 0, and it may never recover. So by hitting the boost feature here or the boost feature here whenever you use the spa, it's generating more chlorine because the more you use the spa, the more chlorine you're going to want to have the system feed into itself, and the less you use the spa, the less chlorine. So that's why it is very important to boost every time you use the spa. On the test strip, I know it says spa okay way up here at 3 to 5 parts per million. I've been talking to the manufacturer about having them put on the label salt okay very low down here at 0.5 to 1 part per million, because that's where they want you to be on the chlorine level on the spa. And that's the only way you can tell where your chlorine is on your spa is with your weekly test strip. You do a quick dip. You don't dip and swirl and lift it up and shake off. You just do a quick dip, bring it up, and compare it to the bottle. And that's the way you use these test strips. And that's going to let you know, and that's going to help you fine tune this system to always be somewhere here in the very pale purples. If you put a test strip in and you're getting pretty purple up at 3, maybe 5 parts per million, you're going to take this output setting of 5 and you might want to bump it down to maybe 4. If you're always reading 0 chlorine, even if you're boosting after use, you may take that output 5 and have to bump it up to 6 or maybe 7. Another thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that your filters are cleaned regularly. Your filters are going to become an epicenter of biocontaminant. All this stuff that you introduce to the spa is going to get caught in your filters. I've had a couple customers tell me that these salt systems do not work. They've got the system pegged at output 10, and they even supplement with a little bit of liquid chlorine, and they're always reading 0. Well, I take a look at their filters, and their filters are just nasty and scuzzy, and there's even 2 handfuls of leaves in the filter well. So get a regiment going of cleaning your filters quite regularly so it doesn't become an epicenter of biocontaminant. So your output setting of wherever you got it, your weekly test strip lets you fine tune and hone that in so you're always reading somewhere very pale purple here. If you're always reading 0 all the time, day after day, week after week, you're going to get a biocontaminant load in that spa. So even if you clean your filters, whatever chlorine you add is going to be zapped and gone instantly, and whatever is in your spa festering and growing is going to continue to fester and grow. So that's why we give you a little bit of liquid swimming pool chlorine to supplement if you need to. Now, this is why it was important on the other video about making sure you're on the low end of the salt here and here. If you do need to supplement with the liquid swimming pool chlorine because there's a huge learning curve to this, you're at 0, the spa's gotten a little funky and nasty, the water's gotten cloudy, it's gotten away from you, so you clean the filters and you're bombarding the spa with liquid swimming pool chlorine to try to bring the system back to sanitized so now the salt system can take over. Every dose of liquid swimming pool chlorine you add is going to take your salt level and raise it up. It's going to take your salt level and raise it up because that liquid swimming pool chlorine shock is sodium based. So that's why we wanted this whole area right here to kind of be your buffer zone. This whole area around here to be your buffer zone. So if you do need to supplement liquid swimming pool chlorine, you are not going off the charts high salt level here or high salt level here. If your needle goes up to high salt level, the system will go offline. The other thing that's going to happen is, let's say everything is working fine. You're cruising along, you're at okay range of salt here, you're at okay range of salt here, you fine-tuned your output levels, you're always reading very pale purple in the chlorine, you're keeping your filters cleaned quite regularly as you should, everything seems fine, and all of a sudden one day you go out there and boom, your needle is down here on low salt. Boom, your bar is way down here on low salt. Your salt didn't go anywhere. Your salt is in there. What has happened is your cartridge has died. These cartridges have a life of about 4 months. I've seen them last 1 or 2 months with very bad water chemistry. I have seen these last several months, 7, 8, 9, 10 months with extremely good water chemistry. The ACE cells are supposed to last 3 years. I have seen ACE cells die in about a year with bad water chemistry. I have seen ACE cells go as far as 5 years with excellent water chemistry. So if your salt cartridge dies, you hit this button here or you hit replace cartridge. It says replace cartridge, you say yes. It says shutting down pumps. It shuts off the circulation pump. Now you can safely take this old cartridge out, pop the new one in, click it in place. Then go in here, restart system, yes. Restart system, yes. And it gets going back online. And with a brand new cartridge, all of a sudden you went from low salt to low salt. It'll say testing, boom, your needle is back where it used to be. Boom, your needle is back where it used to be. The last thing you want to do when you're pegged way down here at low salt offline is add more salt, because the salt didn't go anywhere. Your cartridge just died. So, I think that pretty much covers it. If you learned something and this was helpful, please give me a like and maybe even perhaps subscribe. Thank you.